Welcome back to The Source. ABS-CBN says it may release a list of employees who will be retrenched in the coming weeks if it stays off the air. During the House hearing on Tuesday, ABS-CBN President and Chief Executive Officer Carlo Katigbak appealed for the approval of the network's franchise application for the sake of its 11,000 employees and their families. But Sagip Party List Congressman Rodante Marcoleta says the media giant doesn't deserve a new 25-year franchise. And to tell us more about what happened, let's go straight to the source of the story. We have AKO-BICOL Party List Representative and House Legislative Franchises Committee member, Congressman Alfredo Garbin. Congressman Garbin, welcome to the show, sir.
Hello, Pinky. Yeah. Good morning, Pinky.
All right, sir, I can hear you now. Welcome to the show, sir. First hearing on the 25-year franchise renewal of ABS-CBN. Top executives of the media giant, of course, were present there. How do you assess the first day of the hearing, sir?
Well, the first day of the hearing was just most of which are opening statements of the proponent and at the same time of the oppositor. And we laid the grounds on the rules of the proceedings so we can have an orderly, impartial, and of course, comprehensive hearing. Yun naman ang gusto ng Kongreso, ng Speaker. And we have to set rules para yun ay sundin ng lahat ng resource person, pati na yung joint committees. And in doing so, for every hearing, we will set an issue that will be tackled. So hindi tayo magbabanggaan, hindi malabo at tuloy-tuloy yung hearing.
Parang lumalabas, Congressman, one issue or two issues at a time. Naka-schedule po siya in terms of what, sir, the alleged violations of ABS-CBN?
Well, that's true, Pinky. In every issue, kailangan na talakayin, dapat magpresenta yung ABS-CBN. It will be the ABS-CBN who will present first at pagkatapos ay susundan ito ng nagkukontra naman. So we will receive all the evidence. There will be appreciations of evidence. Expert witness, resource person can be invited. Even the presentation of audiovisual presentations can be presented as long as it must be submitted to the committee 3 days before the intended presentation.
Yung isa po sa oppositor to the franchise, si Congressman Marcoleta, listed the number of reasons why the ABS-CBN franchise should not be renewed or should be rejected. Let me ask you first about the point he raised about this 50-year violation, alleged violation, that is supposedly stated in granting a franchise. Can you explain this to us, Congressman Garbin?
Well, Pinky, that is stated in Article 12, Section 11 of the 1987 Constitution, which says that in granting of franchise, that should not exceed 50 years. Maybe si Congressman Marcoleta, with all due respect, meron siyang interpretasyon doon. But ang sa akin dyan, if you will read the provisions of Article 12, Section 11 of the 1987 Constitution, it is clear and unequivocal that for every grant of franchise, the period should not exceed 50 years. Does not mean after 50 years of multiple grant of franchise ay hindi na mag-ooperate yung isang public utility or a mass media company. And we have so many public utility companies and of course corporations that were granted franchise and are still existing even beyond 50 years. So titingnan po natin kung ano talaga ang gustong sabihin ng framers ng Constitution dito. But as a matter of practice and precedence, talagang marami nang nabigyan ng prangkisa even more than 50 years.
So you don't believe in that point he raised?
Well, the law is clear and unequivocal. The constitutional provision is not susceptible to any other interpretation. Para sa akin, yun yung tamang interpretasyon. And under the rules on statutory construction, if the law is clear and unequivocal, all you need is to implement it and not to interpret it otherwise.
Okay. He also identified a list of alleged violations, no, Congressman Garbin. These are the um, points that have been raised over and over again dun sa sinasabing alleged violation. Let me do a rundown on this, that Gabby Lopez was an American citizen. We talk about the PDR shares, pero yung pong kay Mr. Gabby Lopez, sinabi na nga that he's born to Filipino parents. Yung PDR shares, sir, sinabi na po, this was approved by the SEC and the PSE. Yung pay-per-view, yung pong One Channel One franchise, the Federation of International Cable TV said that you don't need a franchise per channel. And nandun din po yung sinasabing tax issues. I guess my question, Congressman Garbin, is these have been answered over and over again by ABS-CBN. Is it necessary to prove this dito po sa House of Representatives or to defend this before the congressman?
Well, it is necessary to prove and defend this by ABS-CBN because these are valid issues that were raised against them before the Committee on Legislative Franchise. Now, as to the issue on citizenship, the Philippine depository receipts, and of course, the tax evasions, alleged tax evasions of ABS-CBN, perhaps ang pinakamaganda niyan ay imbitahan natin yung mga regulatory agencies or different agencies of the government who has primary jurisdiction and who can answer those issues. DIR with regards to tax, PDR's
right.
Securities and Exchange Commission.
SEC.
So, yes, yun yung mahalaga po. Kunin natin yung kanilang opinion based on the law and based on the Constitution because,
right.
there's a presumption of the regularity in the performance of their duties. And kung sinabi nilang mali, pwedeng talagang katigan niya ng ating ng committee na mali. Pero kung sinabi naman nilang tama, well, the presumption in the performance of regularity will always be upheld.
Yeah, so it's good to get the heads of these agencies to put it on record whether totoo bang nagkaroon ng violation or hindi.
Well, tama po kayo because they have the primary jurisdiction to answer those issues. PDRs, the non-payment, the alleged non-payment of taxes, and of course, whether they complied with all the provisions of their franchise. Nandyan yung NTC, makakapagbigay din kung may mga violations sila.
Right. I wanted to ask you, though, this a point raised by Congressman Marcoleta as well, sir. He's talked about biased and partisan for particular candidates. I just need to know, sir, is there something in the franchise that says that talks about bias or partisan for particular candidates so that this could be a ground for a rejection of a franchise? Meron ho bang nakasaad sa batas?
Well, it's not clear, but if kung yan ay talagang mapapatunayan that the station was in bad faith in using for political purposes their franchise, pwedeng i-consider po yun. But those are a matter of evidence and appreciation for each and every members of the committee when we arrive at a decision. Sa ngayon po, premature pa kung sasabihin natin na nagkaroon talaga ng bias or walang bias. That's why we really need the testimonies of the witnesses and at the same time, the participation of those resource person, whether pro or against ABS-CBN renewal of franchise.
So, when is the next hearing, sir?
The next hearing would be on Monday. It will start at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Medyo matagal-tagal po ang oras and that's why we can ventilate issues and of course the oppositions as well as the support of some of the sectors. Just to tell you that there are 181 position papers who supports the renewal of ABS-CBN franchise and there are 8 who opposed the same. So 181 and 8.
181 for and 8 against. All right, Congressman Alfredo Garbin, sir, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Take care, sir.
Salamat, Pinky, and magandang umaga.
Thank you. And before we go, we want to show you this amazing artwork from Pagsanhan, Laguna. It's not just any ordinary portrait of the Last Supper, because this one was made by using a magnifying glass and sunlight to carve through the wood. Robert says it took him a week to finish the masterpiece because of changing weather conditions. His message to other students and visual artists: find ways to be creative in this time of quarantine. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.